It's a crisp January morning in Rome, a city steeped in history, art, and now a poignant farewell to one of the world's most iconic fashion figures. Today, we don't just talk about garments or runways, we talk about an era that just came to an end. This is the story of Valentino Garavani's final curtain call, and how stars like Anne Hathaway and a constellation of fashion's elite gathered to pay homage to a man whose creations defined elegance for generations. Valentino, just one name. It evokes images of sweeping gowns, flawless tailoring, and that signature shade of red that became far more than a color. It became a cultural symbol. But on January 19th, 2026, the world lost this legend at the age of 93, a figure known for designing not just clothes, but unforgettable moments in history. The news spread like a shockwave. From Hollywood to high fashion, messages poured in, some tender, some nostalgic, all heartfelt. Actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow shared memories of laughter, dinners, and Valentino's mischievous charm, whispering that this really was the end of an era. Other stars like Sarah Jessica Parker posted tribute images with the designer's affectionate nickname Vava in bold red letters. And then came the day all the world would watch, January 23rd, 2026. The day Rome would bid its formal farewell at the majestic Basilica of Santa Maria degli Angeli e dei Martiri. The church itself, with its ancient stones and hushed silence, seemed to understand the gravity of the moment, a fitting backdrop for a life defined by beauty. As the sun rose, mourners began to arrive, men and women draped in classic black, punctuated by flashes of Valentino's signature Rosso Valentino, a deep, vibrant hue that became more than just a color, a legacy. Outside the basilica, admirers stood in reverence, holding red flowers and wearing red accents, echoing a lifetime of glamorous design. Inside, amidst the vaulted ceilings and stained glass, the mood was solemn yet deeply celebratory. Fashion titans like Donatella Versace, Tom Ford, and Anna Wintour were among those present figures who walked the same stages and set the same trends that Valentino helped make legendary. Then came the arrival of Anne Hathaway, a Hollywood star whose connection to Valentino went far beyond the red carpet, known for her elegance and grace. She stepped into the hallowed space with a presence that was both respectful and deeply moving. Some onlookers even captured a glimpse of emotion in her eyes, a testament to the profound impact Valentino had on her personal and professional life. Imagine that moment, a hush falling over the crowd, the echo of footsteps in the basilica, and the weight of history settling in. These were not just celebrities attending a service, these were individuals acknowledging a giant in fashion, someone who didn't just design clothes, but gave artistry a heartbeat. Friends, collaborators, and admirers stood in line to pay their final respects. They recalled the countless red carpet moments when Valentino gowns seemed to defy gravity, embodying confidence and timeless beauty. For many, it wasn't just about fashion, it was about identity, culture, and unforgettable memories woven into fabric. And yet, what struck everyone most wasn't just the elegance on display, it was the humanity. Giancarlo Giamatti, Valentino's lifelong partner and creative companion, delivered a tribute tinged with love and gratitude, with a voice breaking with emotion. He spoke of dreams shared since childhood, of beauty chased together, of a life lived alongside artistry and ambition. Behind those words, there was understanding that Valentino's legacy wasn't just garments in closets or gowns on red carpets. It was the joy he brought to others, the empowerment he gifted to women who felt unstoppable in his designs, the splendor he wove into everyday perception of beauty. Outside, the crowd remained, drawn by admiration and memory. Some waited to catch a final glimpse of the procession, a simple, dignified wooden coffin carried with care, accompanied by white flowers and soft murmurs of farewell. Others stood in silence, reflecting on how his designs had touched their lives, maybe through a photograph in a magazine, maybe through a moment of personal inspiration. This wasn't just a funeral. It was a celebration of a life that sculpted culture itself, a moment where fashion and emotion met, where elegance took its final bow, and where the world paused to honor one of its most beloved creators. And as the day faded into evening, stories continued. Tales of Valentino's early years in Rome and Paris, memories of legendary clients like first ladies and Hollywood royalty, anecdotes about that iconic Valentino red. All of them now becoming echoes in fashion history, celebrated by those who lived it and those who admired it from afar. In the end, Valentino's funeral wasn't just a goodbye. It was a reminder of what passion can create, what beauty can convey, and how one life can leave an indelible mark on the world. And though Valentino is gone, his legacy, that bold shade, those sweeping silhouettes, that unwavering devotion to elegance will live on forever. So as you reflect on this moment with us, remember this: fame is fleeting, trends are temporary, but true artistry, true elegance, never dies. Rome, a city built on centuries of history, art, and timeless beauty, is quietly waking up on a crisp January morning. The cobblestone streets glisten under a soft winter sun, and a sense of reverence hangs in the air. Today, something extraordinary is happening, something that transcends the world of fashion. It's the glitz of Hollywood and the sparkle of red carpets. Today, the world is saying goodbye to Valentino Garavani, a man whose name alone evokes glamour, sophistication, and the very essence of elegance. At the age of 93, this legendary Italian designer, the master of haute couture, has passed away, leaving behind a legacy so grand, so transformative, that even the fashion capitals of the world seemed to pause in quiet admiration. From the moment the news broke, there was a ripple effect across continents. Messages poured in from celebrities, designers, and fans alike. Instagram feeds were flooded with images of Valentino in his signature tailored suits, smiling at a gala or laughing alongside stars he had dressed for decades. Actresses like Gwyneth Paltrow, who often wore Valentino's creations on the biggest stages of Hollywood, shared memories filled with laughter, dinners, and candid moments that captured the designer's personality, a mix of charm, wit, and an unerring eye for beauty. Others, like Sarah Jessica Parker, posted tribute images with Valentino's affectionate nickname Viva, written in bold red letters, a color that had become synonymous with his name. This wasn't just a fashion tribute. It was a heartfelt farewell from those who truly knew him. And then came the day of the funeral. January 23rd, 2026. The Basilica of Santa Maria degli Angeli e dei Martiri in Rome, with its towering columns, intricate frescoes, and centuries-old architecture, became a stage for a celebration of a life that had transformed not just fashion, but the way we perceive elegance. Outside the basilica, admirers gathered, some with flowers, others with heartfelt notes, all sharing a collective sense of loss. But there was also beauty in this gathering, a visual homage to a man who had always celebrated beauty in every form. Many wore red accents, paying tribute to the iconic Rosso Valentino, the color that became more than just a shade. It became a symbol of passion, creativity, and daring elegance. Inside the basilica, the atmosphere was intimate yet charged with emotion. Fashion titans like Donatella Versace, Tom Ford, and Anna Wintour were present. Figures who had walked the same runways, attended the same galas, and competed, in a sense, in the same realm that Valentino had long dominated. But this was not a gathering of rivalry, it was a gathering of respect. Here, past feuds and competition melted away in the face of a shared recognition. Valentino Garavani was one of a kind, a visionary whose influence had touched every corner of the fashion world. And then, as if the world collectively held its breath, Anne Hathaway entered. The Hollywood star, known for her poise, elegance, and grace, moved with quiet dignity. She had worn Valentino countless times, her appearances on the red carpet forever tied to his creations. But today, it wasn't about fashion. It was about paying homage to the man who had shaped a part of her professional identity. Eyewitnesses said there was a hush as she approached, a moment of stillness that seemed almost sacred. Behind the scenes, memories were being shared. Giancarlo Giametti, Valentino's lifelong partner and creative collaborator, delivered a tribute that left many in tears. Speaking with a voice that trembled yet carried strength, he recounted the journey they had taken together from humble beginnings in Rome to the dazzling runways of Paris and Milan, two red carpets filled with stars wearing their designs. He spoke of dreams nurtured, challenges overcome, and a love for beauty so profound it became almost a mission. This wasn't just a personal reflection. It was a window into a world where passion and artistry had intertwined for decades. Every attendee seemed to carry their own memories. A designer recalled the first time Valentino had complimented their work, a gesture so simple yet profound that it changed the course of their career. A model remembered her first gown, how it made her feel unstoppable, like she was walking not just down a runway, but into history itself. These stories, small and intimate, collectively painted a picture of a man whose impact was measured not in garments sold or shows produced, but in the confidence, joy, and empowerment he instilled in those around him. Outside, the basilica steps were lined with admirers, some silently observing, others quietly snapping photos. The coffin, adorned with white flowers, was carried with reverence. The air was filled with soft murmurs of farewell. But there was no overt display of grief, no hysteria, just a collective recognition of the profound mark this man had left on the world. It was elegance in mourning, style in sorrow, and dignity in loss, all hallmarks of a life that had always celebrated beauty, not just in fashion, but in humanity itself. As the procession moved, images of Valentino's past achievements came alive. There were flashes of iconic red carpet moments, of gowns that seemed to defy gravity, of celebrities who had walked into history wearing his creations. The world remembered not just the man, but the way he made others feel powerful, beautiful, unstoppable. Even in death, his influence remained tangible, woven into the fabric of fashion culture. And then came reflections on the early days. Valentino as a young boy in Rome, discovering his love for fabrics, sketches, and design. His early struggles in Paris, where he had to fight to have his voice heard. The founding of his brand and the creation of a color so iconic it became inseparable from his identity. Rosso Valentino. Each story carried weight, each memory a testament to a life that had been fully lived. A mission of beauty and elegance carried out to perfection. In the final moments of the funeral, as candles flickered and sunlight streamed through the stained glass windows, there was a sense of closure, but also of continuity. Valentino Garavani may have left the physical world, but the world he built, filled with grace, confidence, and style, would endure. His gowns would continue to adorn celebrities. His influence would guide new generations of designers, and his vision of elegance would remain a benchmark for beauty in every sense. This wasn't merely a farewell. It was a celebration, a masterclass in life, art, and legacy. A reminder that while trends come and go, true artistry endures. Valentino Garavani's life was a story written in fabric, stitched with passion, and colored in a red so bold it will never fade from memory. And as the world remembers him, we are reminded elegance is timeless, beauty is eternal, and some legacies simply cannot die. So next time you see that bold, striking red on a gown, or admire a perfectly tailored silhouette, remember, behind it lies the vision of a man who taught the world how to dream in fabric, and who will forever remain the heartbeat of haute couture. Disclaimer: the content in this video is based on publicly available information, media sources, and opinions. It is created for entertainment and educational purposes only. We do not claim or guarantee that every detail is 100% accurate.